Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying-Model-Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk about the nerdy news that you need to know about. It's the only news that matters. It's good news. But before we get started, I want to tell you about something really cool. No, it's not just my sponsorship with Into the AM, who can provide you with badass t-shirts just like this if you click the link in the description below, and you'll also get 10% off because you're one of the Model Behaviour Good Brothers. Nah, not just that. But I did say previously that anyone who does buy from Into the AM, if you send me a sneaky little proof of purchase, I will do some hand-drawn artwork for you and post it off as a little thank you. Well, guess what? Good brother Benjamin has already done exactly that. He sent me his proof of purchase, so I'm about to get busy with my pens and my pencils, and you're going to have some custom Model Behaviour artwork, a Dave original, headed your way soon. Don't get too excited, I'm terrible at art. But if you're not impressed by that, that's okay, because you're going to be impressed with the quality at Into the AM. So click the link in the description below, really helps out the channel and decks out your wardrobe. Alright, enough about that, on to the news. Todd McFarlane, the Todd Father, is celebrating 30 years of Spawn, or at least 30 years of McFarlane toys. I think that's what it is. I mean, Spawn, McFarlane toys, they fall on similar anniversaries. One begets the other shortly after. And some very cool reveals have come with this. The main one is the concept art Spawn, which also comes with a Todd McFarlane action figure. This as a package I think is super fun. So this was based on the design that a young, I think teenaged, Todd McFarlane drew his first concept of Spawn. That's super fun because this art has been doing the rounds on the internet for years and years and years. It's always been well known that this was the original design of Spawn, but now we've actually got an action figure based on it. I kind of love that. And you know me, not a big McFarlane Toys fan, but I just like the fact that this exists. It's a really creative way of celebrating the anniversary. And the Todd McFarlane action figure is kind of fun as well. So yeah, as a package together, genuinely, I really like this. They've also got a digitally remastered Hellspawn. This one's a little bit of a head scratcher for me because I don't know what they mean by digitally remastered. It just looks like a new version. Because this design, this style, this was an action figure that came out less than 20 years ago, I want to say, but not much less. Nonetheless, this is something that is, yeah, it's a redo. So I'm not sure what digitally remastered really means, unless they took photos of the original and then, I don't know, like put them through an AI up-res or something. I couldn't tell you. The articulation is proper old school McFarlane though. Real limited articulation. It's more of a statue, but it's quite a pretty statue. Honestly, looking at these pictures though, don't know if it's as nice as the original one. I think the original one was mid-2000s, actually, give or take. Geez, mid-2000s could still be 20 years old, though. Oh man, time is a son of a gun. And Todd also manages to fulfill his ongoing goal of eliminating all articulation with a Spawn statue. But you know what? It's a nice looking statue. I dig it. I appreciate this. And we can see, you know, they've gone for the tribute, the Wakanda Forever pose, and that's kind of nice. I like it. So there you go. As far as doing anniversary type things, just like with the OG concept art, it's a nice way of approaching this anniversary. So yeah, again, if I was wearing my hat, I'd be doffing it. This is a nice lineup. And continuing with the digital remasters, we have the animated looking Commando Spawn. And this was a kind of subline that McFarlane were doing, which I really enjoyed because they basically unashamedly went, let's do Batman the Animated Series versions of our characters. And nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that in a shady way, like, oh, they copied. No, they didn't. They just took inspiration of that style of artwork. And you know what? What they made look great, I think. And this Commando Spawn, similarly, I really dig it. Just like with the other one, it's limited articulation. Not as much going on there. When I was first looking at the images, I had to think like, is that a statue or does it actually have moving parts? And then I saw in the box, the arms are down, so okay, you can move it slightly. But yeah, it's a lot more limited than your average one. But having said that, he doesn't really need to have crazy dynamic poses. He's just a nice looking little desk piece. I think, yeah, I like the look of that. Mezco are in their season of reveals, and a big one is Miles Morales. With all of these reveals, it's just the one boom picture. That's all we're getting. And it's a bit of a tease, because Mezco do tend to drag their feet sometimes, because we're still waiting for a whole bunch that we got these types of pictures shown like years ago. They showed a Doc Ock, like literally a calendar year ago, at least. And ever since then, it's been radio silent. So I don't know when we're ever going to see more of this Miles Morales. But when we do, he might be good. I don't know. I mean, they've done Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen, and that didn't look good. And that's coming from a Mezco fanboy. So we'll hold fire as far as praise is concerned. However, the Miles face, that does look decent. So that's definitely a step up from what they did for Gwen. In their 5 points of articulation line, Mezco are doing a Goonies set. I think, and I may be wrong, but I think that this is kind of a re-release update of a set that they did many years ago. A friend of mine who's super into the Goonies, Brad, friend of the show, he told me that I think this might be just, a newer version. So he's hoping that this will make the older ones cheaper so he can finish his set. But yeah, for any 80s Goonies fans, this one's for you. Mezco have also teased a Terrifier figure, and nope, don't want that on my shelf. Please and thank you. I haven't seen the Terrifier films. I love a good horror movie. I love a good gory splatter movie, but everything I hear about those, it's a bridge too far for me. I'm not getting all highfalutin. I'm not clutching my pearls and saying this kind of thing shouldn't exist. I'm just saying it's a little too rich for my blood, with blood being the operative word. But if you like a terrifying, psycho, scary clown to be on your shelf, then more power to you. Probably in about a year's time or so, Mezco will provide that. Not for me. Not for me. And now, this is very interesting. Mezco have shown off a classic Captain America. So considering that they've done classic Spider-Man and Green Goblin, and over on the DC side of things, they got their classic Batman line, it looks like they really might be going all in with their classic Marvel line. And that's kind of exciting and worrying financially, but also, I kind of step back a little bit because it might look a little bit overly cartoony and campy. Like this, sticking with the horror side of things, they've also shown off a Glenn from Chucky, Seed of Chucky action figure. And just like the other ones, this is all we've got, but it's going to be coming eventually. Good Toys have made a 1/12 scale Anakin Skywalker, or not Anakin Skywalker, if you know what I mean. Maybe he's like Laser Sword Bad Man is probably the name that he's going by. But I got to say, it looks really good. That's such a Ron Swanson type name for a company. I'm going to call my company Good Toys. We make good toys. Well, judging by the pictures, they do. When I saw this, I thought, oh, okay, like a 1/6 scale Hot Toys kind of thing. Nah. All that detail, all those cloth goods, those facial sculpts, like that's all down in 1/12 scale. That's real pretty. Look out, look out, Hasbro. The other companies are going to start giving you a run for your money. Speaking of giving Hasbro a run for their money, Modoking have been showing off more images of their upcoming Miles Morales Spider-Man figure. Now, even though this is black and white, I've been reassured by the people in the know that this will come painted, and it's technically a model kit. However, it's a very basic model kit, kind of like YOLO Park. You just put it together. It's not really an intricate kind of thing, which is reassuring for me with no customizing or painting skills. Benjamin's going to find out about my lack of artistic skills once I send him that thank you picture for purchasing a t-shirt from Into the AM at the link below. Seamless integration there. So this is all right, but what really gets my excitement is the fact that they're making a superior Spider-Man as well, and that could be the ultimate figure for me. He's been on my want list for so long with the legs and everything. Bring it on. Hopefully we'll see more of this very soon. SH Figure Arts are also doing Nami from the live-action One Piece show. This is going to be about 10,000 yen, so probably about $80, give or take. Going to be released around the summertime, say August is what we've got listed at the moment. I still need to get in and watch that One Piece show. I heard really good things about it, and now there's Avatar out as well. It's a good time for anime fans, as long as Avatar does them justice. I know that you poor Avatar fans, you've had a hard road of it for a while. I hope the TV show lives up to expectations. Limited run games are making a new Contra game. So what's old is new again. This is an old arcade classic that's being remade. But that's not the news story. What is that in their Ultimate Edition, they're actually providing action figures of the two characters, Bill and... I don't know the other one. Bimmy and Jimmy. No, that's Double Dragon. Regardless, they're 1/18th scale, so kind of like, G.I. Joe classic O-ring sort of scale. And is that... Yeah, that is 1/18th scale. Yeah, I get confused. Shock horror, Dave gets confused. Nonetheless though, it's kind of fun to see that as a package, a new video game making action figures for a big bundle deal. I'm here for that. Mafex have shown off full reveals of their John Wick and Kane figure. I didn't want to look down, it was on the tip of my tongue. Kane, that was it. From John Wick 4. These actually look great. Mafex can be real hit and miss, but I find the real life face sculpts actually look way better than the comic book ones often, which is strange because you would have thought the more realistic they're going, the more uncanny valley it would be and the more sort of disconcerting. But actually, no, with the real human beings, they seem to nail the likenesses. Then I find with the comic books, they just seem to fall short a little bit. But hey, that's just me in my opinion. So these are going to retail for about 10,000 yen each, so you're looking at about 80 bucks give or take. And yeah, for John Wick fans, this one's a no-brainer. Alright, I'm going to do what I hate and actually read this off because there's a lot for me to get through here. Bandai have shown off their Soul of Chogokin Volts or Voltaires V Chogokin 50th anniversary version. Going to be released in August of this year and retailing for 33,000 yen, which is about 250 bucks, give or take. I can't really comment too much more on it because you can see just from the fact that I had to read that off my phone, I don't know nothing about this, but it's a big, crazy-looking anime mech, and sometimes it's all you need to know. Seed of Chucky coming. I'm sorry, that's terrible. I'm Dave. Mental note. Delete that. 1,000 Toys are doing a 1/12 scale Halo Reach re-edit figure. There's a lot of information contained in the blurb about this, and I think I managed to piecemeal out the essential bits, but not being a Halo guy, I don't know for sure, because the Halo guys are normally green, and this guy's blue. So that just completely throws my entire understanding into disarray. But if you're a Halo person, then you'll probably look at it and go, oh yeah, it's that guy. I want that guy. It's the guy from The Thing who does the thing. Boom, perfect. This one's for me. If it is for you, it's going to cost you a few bucks. It's about $180 that it's being listed as. But if you want to find out more information, also on anything I mention on here, chances are that Eric Fullen has posted about it in the Model Behaviour Facebook group. So if you click the Facebook link in the description below, then you can go to the Model Behaviour page and you'll see everything that he's posted and all the good information contained in there. Dreamstar Toys, God bless these random Chinese companies. They are doing a not Aerial Bots, not Superion Combiner Transformers figure, and just look at the detail in this. This is crazy, absolutely bonkers, and it properly combines with each limb transforming into a separate transformer and then coming together to make this ridiculous, gigantically awesome, monstrous monstrosity of a Transformers Combiner figure. Man, I'm glad that this is all the way over in China. There's no danger of me finding it and just throwing money at it, I hope, because I'd want to, because deep cut Transformers, actually, I always liked Superion. He was always one of my boys. He was in my boy stable. I never felt like Superion got enough love in the show. I thought that guy was wicked, so this is a good looking representation. Revoltech have shown off this guy, and I'm gonna have to read it again because I've got no idea. Rotary Technology Series Element Hero New You. I don't know. I got nothing. He looks kind of cool though. He looks like the Pepsi Man meets the Guyver. So I mean, that's a fun combination. But I've never come across this before at all. But I like the look of it. It's never anything that's going to be on my shelf. I haven't got a clue what it is. But Revoltech have been getting better and better. So if you're familiar with this, let me know. But honestly, I'd be amazed if any of y'all watching out there know what this is. But if you do, yeah, if you could educate me, I'd appreciate that. And speaking of Revoltech, one figure that I do recognize is their Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. This looks super pretty. I love it when companies that are so well known for a certain style do a character that doesn't fit that style and they actually change their whole style to make it work for that other style. And that's what they've done here. Because gone are lots of the crazy pointy joints and all the stuff that I don't mind and other people really hate about Revoltech. This is a smooth, lovely looking Sally. So if you Nightmare Before Christmas fans, this one might just catch your interest. Premium Collectibles are continuing their Street Fighter statue line, this time with Guy and Cody. These are 1/10 scale statues, so a little bigger than Marvel Legends and a little smaller than Hot Toys. But you get a good meal. That's a quote. What's that? That's a quote from something. I'll come back to that. It's not this, it's not that, but you get a good meal. You know what? That's going to bug me, but help me out in the comments. What the heck am I talking about? Never mind. These statues look real nice. They're done in that classic Udon Street Fighter art style. They're gorgeous. If I'd started to get into them right from the start, I probably would have persisted. So it's probably a good thing that I didn't, because I saved myself a lot of money. But yeah, for a big 90s Street Fighter kid, these things look awesome. Simpsons! That's it! It's not quite breakfast, it's not quite brunch, but you get a good meal. That was going to drive me bonkers. In video games, there's a new trailer up for G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra, and the more I see of this, the more I'm thinking, yes, I want to play this. Proper side-scrolling 2D retro beat-em-up goodness. I loved the Ninja Turtles game that they did in the same style about a year ago. Played the heck out of that, mainly going to and from Hong Kong. That was my go-to entertainment over the last year. So this looks like more of the same, and just bringing out all the deep cuts as well. We got the hiss tank, we got the trouble bubble, all that kind of stuff. This is going to be a good time. You can maybe even expect a review when it comes out, because I'm probably going to have a lot to say. Marvel are gearing up for their big summer event, and it's gonna be vampires. Vampires out the wazoo, which honestly doesn't really hold too much interest for me. I'm not a big vampire guy. That was never my jam. Zombies, werewolves, that was more my wheelhouse. Vampires, never did much for me. So when I saw the solicits for the summertime, and it's like Spider-Man and Morbius doing their thing, I'm thinking, I think I'll sit this one out. I think I'll wait for Marvel Unlimited. But you know what? It's sometimes when your expectations are low that things can really deliver. And Marvel are great at putting together good-looking trailers. I never really thought about comic book trailers being a thing, but ever since I discovered that companies do this, I've been really taken by them. So I dig the approach of doing that. And hey, look, when they start to filter into Marvel Unlimited, I'll give them a read, and hey, I might be pleasantly surprised. David Nakayama, an artist who I'm a big fan of with his very slick pin-up, digitally colored, just cheesecakey popping artwork, has done his own reinterpretation of the classic MC2 Spider-Girl first appearance cover. I think it was an issue of What If, where she first appeared before she got her actual ongoing series. And I love this. I just wanted to share it with you. And if you're not familiar with his artwork, you probably are without even knowing it, because he's done so many covers for all different companies, because he's just got this great eye-catching style. So go check him out on Instagram, and honestly, if Marvel are starting to reincorporate Spider-Girl, Mayday Parker back into the 616, I'm going to be here for it, because I always thought that was a great character who never really got a fair shake, or a decent Marvel legend. You never know, in the coming couple of years, maybe she'll get both. To celebrate Wolverine and Deadpool hitting the silver screen this summer, Marvel are doing an 8-issue Wolverine and Deadpool team-up story called Extraction. The interesting thing, the gimmick here, is that it's not going to be standing alone. It's going to be run as backup stories in different comic books stretched out throughout the Marvel comics, kicking off in Incredible Hulk 14. Now, normally I'd grumble at this a little bit. However, Marvel are not charging any extra for this story. So yes, it's an incentive for you to pick up more books. But if you don't care about the story, then you're going to get it as a little bonus in your regular comic book, and you're not going to get charged extra for it. That's how you do marketing right there. I think that's a great idea. So the covers, the preview artwork, it looks like great fun. And obviously they're going to put their best foot forwards, because this is the time to really push Wolverine and Deadpool into the public consciousness. So I'm going to be very interested to read this story. I'll wait till Marvel Unlimited, because otherwise what the heck am I paying my money for? But when it hits, hopefully it'll be a good time. I like the look of what they're doing here. And especially with the marketing tactic itself, I can't complain about that. This is an interesting little aside here. It's a busy time for Todd McFarlane, and doing the rounds on the internet right now is a picture of a Wolverine redesign that he did for Marvel back in the early 90s. Just a cool, fun little oddity. You never know, maybe we'll get a Marvel legend of this redesign one day. Of course, it never actually came to fruition, but you can totally see it's early 90s Todd McFarlane that's just thrown up all over Wolverine. So chains and gloves and spikes, everything you would expect. So it's not exactly a costume, it's more just Todd's superhero wardrobe. But you know what? It's a fun little oddity. I thought it was kind of fun to share with you. And over in Cosplay Corner, I'd like to turn your attention to Joanna Taylor, who is making some awesome content over on Instagram. And while you're looking at that, let me tell you about my channel sponsor, Into the AM, who have provided me with this and a few other awesome looking t-shirts. And if you'd like to pick one up too, then you can click the link in the description below and you get 10% off on your order because you're one of the Model Behaviour good brothers. And also, as I said at the start, if you send me a proof of purchase, I will do some hand-drawn artwork for you as a little thank you. Just send me your address and I'll post it off to you just as a little thanks for helping out the channel. So gang, thank you very much for doing that, and go and check out our featured cosplay artist, because I think doing the plug while doing the cosplay, that's a little bit of synergy there. Otherwise, it's just me rambling on about nothing while I show the pretty pictures. So gang, thank you for that, and big shout out to Joanna. Keep up the awesome work. And folks, that does it for Good News for today. Thank you so much for watching. What did you think about the items covered? Comment below. Let me know. And also a big thank you genuinely to all of my Patreon supporters and channel members. Guys, honestly, it's your support that keeps me doing this ridiculous amount of content that I do, because I want to make a living from this channel, and it's a long way off, but it's getting there. Every single day we get a little bit closer, and it's because of your support, and that's why I keep pumping out the content to keep this thing going, baby. And honestly, you guys give me the motivation to keep doing that, so thank you so, so much. All right, that's enough sentimentality. What am I like? Must be getting old, you see. I get all sentimental in my old age, but genuinely thank you. So gang, you're awesome. I love doing this, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior. So if you click the Facebook... So if you click the Facebook link in the... So if you click the Facebook link in the description below, then you can go to the model behavior page and...
Cup of coffee, big time